Hello, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Happy Memorial Day. Hey, thank you all for joining. I'm going to make this quick. However, I wanted to come on today on Memorial Day for this topic because it has been coming up a lot lately with either my clients or people I've been speaking to or people in my community. And by the way, I love your DMs, I love your messages. But this topic of like, I keep getting rejected, or some version of I'm getting rejected, so therefore it's never going to happen for me. So, I really want to talk about how to overcome rejection in your job search. Just to let you know, rejection is a part of the process. Now, we don't want an abundance of rejection, obviously, but some level of not right now, I found someone else, this job is no longer available, will come up just because of the environment that we're in. Even in like 2022, where it seems like people were like giving away jobs, there were still some people who had to be rejected. Okay, so let's start there with rejection is a part of the process. And obviously, like I said, we don't want an abundance of rejections, but we also don't want to focus on the objections so much or the rejections that we can't see what's working. All right. So I'm going to introduce myself and then we're just going to jump right into it. Hey, hi, everyone. Thank you all for watching. I'm Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color. It is my purpose and my mission to put more of you, more women of color in positions of power and leadership roles. So I am really, really focused now on how we can pivot. This is a time of change for all of us. So I've been talking a lot about pivoting and transitioning, and especially for women of color and women over 40. I had some men in my DMs. Fellas, you all are welcome to join in, contribute, listen, join in the community as well. But I mostly speak to women of color. We're going to get right into this. I have seen some, I would say, like disheartening things lately when it comes to rejection. People feeling like their life is over, they will never get a job again, they can't pay for anything, feeling even some like suicidal ideology and or suicidal thoughts because of the loss of a job, and then a rejection piled onto that. And I just want to say, losing a job can be a traumatic event. Please get help outside of just the career, okay? Change is a, I want to say change is traumatic, but change is a jarring event. It feels like the rug has been pulled out from under you, right? Even when things have changed from like, oh, when I was looking for a job before, I got all these other things and I got multiple offers. And now that I'm looking for jobs, I'm getting multiple rejections. That can be jarring and a shock to your system. I want you to kind of hone in and kind of know when you need to pause and when you need like to get some help, okay, and support. That could be from a friend, a therapist, a stranger, a coach, a psychiatrist. It can be medication. So let me start there. I have seen people take the rejection so hard that they take it as a personal attack on them, their livelihood, their career, and their experience. And that is not what a rejection is. Let me just say that, okay? So if you're feeling very, very strong, if you're feeling any of these things, I want you to right now be like, I need support, I need help in any form that you need it for you. You don't want to go into a job search with like, if I don't get this job, then nothing else will ever happen for me. I'm going to not be able to pay my bills and everything's going to fall apart. Here's the thing. I've lost jobs before. Plenty of my clients have lost jobs before. It's not that, but you cannot make that your mindset. And when you start to feel down is one thing, but when feeling down starts to go into a depression, I'm going to say that's when you need a different type of support and different type of help. Okay. So I need to start there because people have come to me like, I just don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get this particular job. Okay. So we're going to talk about all of that, but let me just start with that. If you're having any of these extreme feelings, if you're starting to feel depressed, you may need a different type of support and a different type of help. There is nothing wrong with that. There are associations out there. There are programs out there where you can get free or low cost mental health help. Okay, so let me know. I have some resources for people that I usually send them. If you feel like that's you, I can send you all some resources. You can feel free to DM me, or you can just simply Google or ask ChatGPT. But I did want to put that out there. Okay. All right. So we're going to go right into the next steps. Let me start with this tip number one. And you have to know, like I said, rejection is a part of the job search process. It is nothing personal about you. You have to know that. A rejection in your job search, I need you to step back and be like, okay, how many different things could this be? It could be they lost the budget for the job. It could be they don't know how to hire. It could be, and I've seen that sometimes they are not a lot, but this does happen where they're kind of gathering resumes for when a job becomes available. So just know a rejection is not a personal attack on you or your career. Okay, start there. It's not a personal attack. These people usually don't know you. Okay, that's step one. Not a personal attack, and it's a part of the rejection, is a part of the job search process. You want to overcome it, you have to first know, kind of step away. This isn't personal. These people don't know me. Like, they don't know me. Sometimes a person might not have seen your resume, right? You can just step back from it and like, this is not me. Okay. Step one. Step two, we're then going to be like, okay, it's not me, so to say. Now you can step back, give it some distance. I want you to be looking at rejections from like a 3,000 view. That's what I do with my clients. I don't always look at it from like them. It's like, all right, if I step back, why else could they rejected you? So we're going to step back. Step two, we want to step forward again. Okay, now that I've gotten rejected, I don't believe in tracking rejections, but I do believe in evaluating them. Okay. Let me tell you the difference. Tracking means you have a tracker sheet and it's like rejected, rejected, rejected. And you're like, oh my God, I applied to 100 jobs and I've been rejected from 100 jobs, right? That's tracking the rejections. Hey, thank you, Camille. Versus evaluating a rejection. Let me tell you what this is, you guys. An evaluation is we're stepping back and then we're like, let me step forward and see. Can I give feedback? If you've gotten rejected after an interview, I always recommend asking for feedback. Whether they give it to you or not, it doesn't matter. Ask for it. Recently, I had a client do this and she's gotten some great feedback about the way she was answering the questions. They wanted her to be more concise. That is great feedback. That's an evaluation, right? Evaluating how or when you got rejected. And I'm going to share this. This is the first thing I do with my clients. Once we take the emotions away, once we step back, then we're going to evaluate. Meaning, did you get the rejection right after you applied? Right? Are you getting rejections but no interviews? Because this means different things. If we're getting rejections as soon as we apply, and within 24 hours you're getting a rejection, usually a person is not looking at it. When it's that quick, usually it's some sort of computer, and maybe you didn't have enough keywords. Maybe it's a misalignment, meaning you're going after let's say a senior VP role, but you actually applied to like an HR assistant, right? It's a misalignment. And they're going to be like, why did you apply for this? Now, in your mind, you're like, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. In their mind, you're overqualified, right? Or with the system, it could be that, again, the keywords, you just don't have enough keywords, or you didn't answer the questions right. When you see these pre-application questions or post-application questions, they're knockout questions. They're not trying to include you, they're trying to exclude you. So if you immediately get a rejection, then I know it was an issue with the resume of the application. Do you see? It's an evaluation, not tracking, and we're just evaluating. Okay. And we're not taking it personal. We're not associating blame. We're just like, hey, let's just evaluate. All right. And sometimes I'm aware this can be hard to do, to take the emotions out. This is why it's best to do it with a coach, a friend. Sometimes the colleges may have like a career services, somebody else who can help you see things that you may not see in that moment. Okay. This is evaluation versus tracking. So, second step, we're evaluating. If you're getting rejected after the interview, and this is something I always tell my clients, if you're getting interview after interview and then rejection after rejection, I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. Now we know we just need to work on interview prep. We know you're aligned. We know you have the keywords. We know your timing is right. Everything is good. You're checking all the boxes. But when it comes to this interview, now we got to work on that. And then think about where, if you're getting to the final round, right? If you're getting past that phone screen, the first interview, the second interview, but that final round and you're getting rejection, again, we're evaluating. Then I'm like, okay, it's not just your interview prep, it's your branding and your confidence. Did you show them that you are the best candidate, right? Now we know exactly what to work on. This is the power of evaluating the rejections. All right. This is again evaluating versus tracking. Let me know. Thank you, Camille. This is a great outlook. But thank you. Let me know if you all got this. If you're like, I don't know, Latrice, I've been told to track. Let me know if you're getting the difference between evaluating a rejection and tracking a rejection. Okay. Once you have that, we're pausing. I then have my clients, and y'all might have heard me do this before. We like to do 25 reasons why activity. You've got that. Before you dive right into correcting, I want you to think about how you can build your confidence. Because a lot of times we just want to know, what am I doing wrong and how can I correct it? That's not the right question. Anytime someone asks, what am I doing wrong? You're always going to get a criticism that's usually not helpful because it's in the question. What am I doing wrong? Then, me as your coach, you want me to pick out everything you're doing wrong. When we're evaluating, I can see what you're doing right and I can see where we need improvement. So, with the next step, we do 25 reasons why. It's an exercise to say 25 reasons why I'm the right person for this finance role. 25 reasons why I am the best candidate they will ever find. And you are doing this for yourself. You're not going to sit here and do it in your mind. You're not going to tell me. You need to write it down, have it in writing, and proving to yourself. This is a confidence builder. So before we start on our correction, we are building our confidence. Hey, Melissa. Melissa says, I've been tracking and I think it's been a big negative on my outlook. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. Yes, you really like your take. Please, if you all don't take anything from this, we're not tracking rejections. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. We're not tracking rejections. We're evaluating a rejection. We ain't tracking them. And once you evaluate, you can move to help. You can move on. Like once you evaluate, we can move on. You can delete it. You don't need, if it's on your tracker, instead of making it red and you see all this red, delete it. Give yourself a positive message or a positive affirmation. Instead of saying rejected, saying, girl, something better is on the way, right? We don't need to track. It doesn't help. It's not helping your confidence. But once you evaluate something, it's like, okay, I'm getting what I need from this. A tracking, you're not getting anything. So thank you for saying that. I'm glad you all like this outlook. I've been doing this with my clients for years. But it's something about right now in 2025 that is making things very personal, and I am seeing more and more rejections, and I'm a career coach and I'm going to tell you all this. I'm seeing more and more, but you could do everything right and still get rejected because what I'm saying is the job is no longer available. We didn't have the budget for this job. The position is being put on hold. Maybe they hired it internally. It could be 1,001 reasons that have nothing to do with you. So just know that. Then we are going to look at it and say, okay, how can I, once we evaluate, please do not go right into correction. Because, and I say this, If you all have ever talked to me or ever worked with me, you know I do a lot with mindset. Your mindset is not in the place to correct right now. You need to build your confidence. I even recommend before you go into correction mode that talk to a friend, go out, change of pace, do something you like. Like for me, I love y'all. I'm gonna start talking about this. I don't got into gardening and juicing. It's my favorite thing. I got cucumbers. I got eggplants coming in, y'all. I love it. Even for me, I get rejected too. Even for me, before I go into something like, let me calm my nerves, let me get my mind right, let me take a minute, and then we're going to go into correction. And you can even still go back to the evaluation stage too, and then be like, oh, you know what? It also could have been this. Oh, you know this? But I need you to build your confidence. Remind yourself who you are before you start going into correcting mode. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually more productive this way. You're going to be more productive. If you don't have this whole list of like why I'm great, why 25 reasons why I'm amazing at this role, 25 reasons why I am a superstar, 25 reasons why this client will be great to have me, 25 reasons why I'm an asset to any company, 25 reasons why I'm an amazing leader. If you don't tell yourself first, anything you touch from that energy of I've just been rejected, it is, I don't want to say it's not, it's going to be way, way harder. It's going to be more effort. I have seen people skip this step, and what happens is the rejections continue and they start to spiral. And I'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We got to pause. A pause can be so productive. When people say, I'm pausing, I always say, okay, let's decide what we're going to do in the pause. We're not going to pause for the sake of pause and spin out. We're going to pause and remind ourselves who we are. We're going to pause and take a break and clear our mind and do something we like and fill our cup. Yes, Camille. Camille says, I tell myself the glass is half full, not half empty. Yes, and it always is. And I'm going to tell you all something. People see me and they're like, Latrice, you're always so positive. No, I'm not. Now, my natural state is this, but you guys, you see, I'm in a different area. I've had, personal things going on, things with my daughter's health. I've been having a lot of things going on. I purposely work on my mindset. And what that means is I purposely do affirmations every single day. Love the I Am app. I use the I Am app. I purposely listen to books that empower me. I have amazing friends and family that lift me up. I enjoy what I do. So you have to make this a intentional thing. This is why it's a step in the process, because we're being intentional. All right. And I'm spending a little bit of time on this because this is what everybody want to skip. They're like, what am I doing wrong? Okay, I want to interview prep. Schedule me for tomorrow. We got to get our mind right before we start trying to course correct, because we're going to go down the wrong path. We're going to go down the wrong course. Okay. So remember, 25 reasons why. And you can get to fill that out. 25 reasons why I'm the best HR person. 25 reasons why blank. Tell me, Melissa, Camille, hey, Rev Corey, Freeman, I want you all to tell me what fill in that gap. 25 reasons why what? What is it that you want, that you're looking for right now? And how, and you know you're the best. Fill it in. Put it in the comment. Type it in. we're gonna have fun today. And I want then just type it in for right now. But your homework, it's a long weekend, is to do those 25 reasons why. Share it with me, or you can share it with me. You could post it, or you could just have it for yourself. I have my clients write it and then post it somewhere near their computer or near where they're going to be working or applying, right? Then once you do that, you're feeling better. You can see things from an objective point of view. Then we're going to correct. Then we're going to say, okay, what's going on in these interviews? Then we're going to be like, all right, let me take a look at this resume. Then we're going to look at the alignment. If I say I want a leadership job, why am I applying to entry-level roles? And a lot of times it's just confidence. You're like, I don't think I can get it. I don't know what to do. You know you want a promotion, but yet you're still applying to lateral roles because you think it's going to be easier. But it's not. And when we tell ourselves these narratives, we realize It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is why I have you do the confidence builder first, then we can start to make the corrections. And these corrections, I'm going to say something a little different. Your corrections should be based on data and facts. And sis, it should be based on your intuition. Please, 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 when people are, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. It has been people who have come to me and they're like, I work with other career coaches and they said, do this, this, and this. And I'll be like, does that make sense for you? Does that make sense for you? And I'll be like, is this easy for you? Let me tell y'all something. All techniques work, but all techniques don't work for everybody. If you're an introvert and someone tells you to go out and network with 5 different people each week, and you're like, I'm an introvert, I don't think this is going to work for me, and you struggle doing it, and then you go into this cycle of being like, I don't know why I can't do this. Introverts, I've had people tell me introverts don't get promoted, this, that, and you're going in a cycle. No, you need to do what works for you. This is why I had you build your confidence in the previous stage. So you can confidently look at the data, let the data lead you, but you're also going to listen to your intuition. When people are like, how are your clients getting these roles? How are they getting all these interviews? Because we're not doing cookie cutter things. I'm allowing them to listen to their intuition, but only after we've changed that narrative and their confidence is built up. They know who they are. So they can say, they'll even tell me, Latrice, I don't think this is going to work for me. And I'll be like, okay. I'll say, why do you think it's not going to work? They explain it. I'll say, okay, well, how can we take the intent of what I'm telling you and make it work for you? So, and I know you're not going to have a lot of people tell you all this. It is so easy to look on Google, go to ChatGPT and be like, what should I do? And it kick you back some things and you're like, I can't do this. That is okay. That is okay. Listen to your intuition. You're going to do both. You're going to listen to your data, your resources, your support. Yes. And you're not going to ignore your intuition, what comes intuitively to you. Because a lot of my introverts are like amazing listeners, are like these prolific writers. I'm like, then write a post. I had a client, we did this. I'm not a fan of like putting your face on your resume. Putting your face on the resume, putting your picture on the resume. I'm not a fan of like pink or any of this. So I tell my client these things, and she was, I would say she wasn't quite introverted, but she was very creative. So let's say this, her and I were creative in different ways. And she was a great writer. And I was like, hey, on her resume, I was like, you're missing some of these elements. This isn't correct. This is why you're not getting things. And she was like, hey, Latrice, this isn't me. She was like, I'm not a black and white or blue person. I want my picture on there. I want people to know what they're getting into. And I was like, you know what? Let's work together. So she was in graphic design. I was like, you know what? You're in graphic design. You design your resume in the way that represents you. I'm going to make sure that it has your branding, your keywords, it's telling the right story. And then we worked together and she rewrote some of the words. And then I went back and was like, okay, let's add this. Let's tweak this. Resume was a hit. Hit. One of the things she also did was I was like, hey, go with your intuition. She started reading more books on like following what comes naturally to you. And she was like, you know what? I read something that when I write things, it comes to fruition. I was like, well, just write. She wrote this post talking about what happened. She was like laid off and then had an offer that was rescinded. And then she was like, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I wanted. It was beautiful. The post went viral. She wound up having so many people connecting with her in the post. And then she actually had a company that she used to work for years prior see it and give her an interview and an offer. And it had every single thing that she wanted, checked all the boxes. This is what I mean by, yes, we're going to evaluate, we're going to use the data, and then we're also going to use your intuition and what comes naturally to you. Do not forget this part. Do not forget this, because of rejection will make you question everything about you. And you need to build yourself back up and be able to trust your instincts and your intuition again. We're still going to use the data. We're still going to use the evaluations. We're still going to use the support. But you're now going to have the confidence to say, no, this piece I'm not doing. I'm not going to reach out to 10 people every day. I'm not going to do that. You're going to be like, you know what? This one of like reaching out to old coworkers, I can do that because I have some great people that I used to work with. This will actually lessen the rejections because you're doing things your way. Let me know if this makes sense. Rev Corey says, wow. Thank you. He says, fantastic information. Thank you. Let me know if this makes sense. Because I know some people may be like, Latrice, I don't know. Am I still working? What? But this is what I've gotten before. They'd be like, well, my intuition got me the rejection. No, it didn't. That was you just throwing, spaghetti at the wall, like whatever works, works. You didn't have a plan. Now we're saying, okay, I've got these rejections. I'm not going to track them, but I am going to evaluate them. I'm going to tell them, I know there are a million and one reasons why I could have got rejected. I'm going to step back. It's not personal. Then I'm going to evaluate. Then I'm going to get personal with myself, build my confidence up. This is the most important step because a rejection will hit your confidence like nothing else. And the more jobs that you apply to that is not in a way that aligns with you, the more rejections you will get. And now you're just in this cycle. And that will impact your confidence. That will impact your career. That will impact how long you're out of a job. That will impact your livelihood. So you have to know. So what I'm telling you all is not just how to overcome the rejection. Let me know if you all pick this up. I'm also telling you how to minimize the rejections. So you're now not getting as many rejections. All right. Let me know if this makes sense. Let me know if you all have any questions about the process and the step. This is the exact things I take my clients through. And I'm giving you all this and I'm sharing this information for free, you guys, because I am seeing people take it so personally that it then sabotages their job search. And we don't want that. I want you all to be confident. I want you all to know that yes, the job market is different, even different than it was last year. However, people are still winning. You can win. You will win. You will get a job. Okay? I want to hear everybody's like, y'all should be like, Latrice, I'm claiming it. I will land my dream job. I am claiming it. You need to be telling yourself this. There are going to be so many things out there that are going to be, I don't want to say negative, that are going to be like, this is so bad. This isn't happening. Oh my goodness. And you lose sight of what is possible for you. You lose sight of what is still happening. People are still getting jobs. People are still getting hired. I just had a client get her dream offer, a six-figure remote role. She just messaged me the other day, and I'm so happy and so proud of her. And yes, she's a woman of color in 2025. So this is still happening right now. But we've got to be able to not let the rejections stop us permanently, not let a rejection in our job search spin us out. Okay? We've got to know this is just temporary. I have a process and I know how to overcome this and I know how to minimize the rejections. That was the process that I just took you all through. And you can kind of run that in a cycle, right? Run it how much you need it. But we can pause, we're not stopping. We can evaluate, we're not tracking. Okay? Think of these things. We can observe, but we're not gonna like get ourselves so deep that we think this is who we are, that we think this rejection is personal. All right? All right. I said I was I'm always like, I'm gonna be 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let me know. I'm about to hop off. All right, Rev Corey says it definitely makes sense. All right, let me know. Do you all have any questions, any comments about this? Also, if you all want I think I may do like a post so you can see these written out as well. I'm also going to be doing some workshops in June. However, if you want to look, I do have a free workshop. It's already been recorded. It's how to pivot as a woman of color beyond 40. This is good for everyone because I've gotten people saying like, Latrice, I'm not 40 or I'm not 40 yet. Can I still watch? Yes. I've had men in my inbox. Yes, the fellas can watch too. However, it's geared to women, but it's great information for everyone. Put pivot in the comments and I'll give you that link to the free workshop, and it's on demand. So as soon as you put your email address in, you can watch it today and start implementing some of the strategies. Okay. If you all would like to work with me, or you're like, Latrice, I love to get more information about your services, see how you can help me, just put ready in the comments, or you can DM me privately and you can DM me ready. Okay. All right, let me check out these comments. All right, Melissa says, I've never gotten job based on references, been offered a job because I know someone. Okay. All right. I apply, I interview, I land the jobs. It's been really hard trying to figure out how to network. It feels unnatural, but it seems like it's how most people are getting jobs nowadays. So I have been forcing myself to do it. If something seems very unnatural for you, and you feel like I am forcing myself, right? Step back and be like, how can this be fun? How can I not force? What is the meat of it, right? Always say like, take the meat, leave the fat. If you like, hey, usually I've gotten a job because I know someone. Melissa, and I know you. You have an amazing brand, right? People know what you can do. Instead of trying to like force yourself to network and it feels so uncomfortable and unnatural, can you reach out and maybe have virtual coffees or a catch-up call with people you already know? And then maybe they could refer you to somebody. Maybe cold calling is not your thing, or going out and shaking hands and kissing babies, right? And I always say for women of color, we are natural networkers, just not in that slimy, sleazy way. We're natural networkers and like, sis, I'm gonna show up to your baby shower and start chit-chatting to a couple people who I vibe with. That's still networking. Think about what is a natural way of networking for Melissa? What feels good for you? That's going to be more effective than you forcing yourself to do something somebody else's way. It's not going to work. You're going to find it really hard. You're going to barely do it, and it's not going to work. And I've seen so many people get into this cycle. Me, I'm a natural networker. I love it. I'm a work of room, right? But I also know I need to take a break. So I tell myself, I work a room, y'all. I'll go to my call for 20, 30 minutes. I got to reboost, right? Then go back, work a room, come back, take a minute to myself. I may call my kids. I may call my girlfriend. I gotta boost up, right? And then go back. And for you, if you're like, Latrice, I ain't working nobody's room. That is okay, sis. What is your way? I've seen some people utilize LinkedIn. With LinkedIn, hot fire. I've seen people utilize emails where you can now go on somebody's website, or they have technology now, and you can go on the website and find the hiring manager's email address and email them directly. I've seen people do that. I've seen people be like, you know what? I'm gonna just reconnect with people I already know. I love a good catch-up call. A catch-up call is amazing, especially around any sort of holiday, beginning of the year, middle of the year. May, June is a great time for a catch-up call because it's kind of like the middle of the year. Like, hey, what are you doing? This is May, June. A catch-up call to people you already know, and then you can ask them, right? And then they can put out the feelers. Do you know somebody who is a natural networker? See if they can do some work for you. See if they can put out the feelers. But I will be honest, yes, right now, a ton of my clients are mostly getting their jobs from some sort of referral, right? Not 100%, but most, right? And that referral is at least getting them the interview. And not all of them are networking the same way. Some are going to networking events. Some people are like doing online workshops and meeting people that way. When people come to my live workshops, like my online live workshops, I always have them put their LinkedIn in the comments to connect with each other. But I had another client who reached out to a former coworker and colleague, and then that former coworker or colleague reached out to somebody else. So see what works naturally for you. Don't fight your instincts right now. This is not the time. You know, when there was like push yourself outside your comfort zone. Yes, slightly. I believe in a 10% push. We're not jumping off no bridge here because it just creates more resistance. All right, Melissa, let me know if that makes sense. But I would recommend thinking about what way works best for you to get a referral, to get to know someone. If you're doing something and it feels unnatural, and that's a very strong word. If it feels unnatural, I'm going to recommend that you find something else. That how can you still build your network without networking in a way that feels unnatural to you? And listen to your instinct and what comes up. I've gotten some of my best ideas by going against the grain. Like I've had people tell me, don't do workshops. It's so hard. Workshops come natural to me. I've had people be like, don't do lives. You got to send all these emails. But showing up live to you all, this is what is natural for me, right? And I get all the engagement and the questions. And this has recently been mostly how I get a lot of my business and a lot of my clients. But this is natural for me, right? So, Melissa, what is more natural for you? I want you to think about it, and I'm gonna DM me, message me, and I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me, and then that's gonna be your plan, right? Let me know if that makes sense, okay, Melissa? Um. Oh, it's just telling me LinkedIn. I'm supposed to do this. Will I be able to access the live again? Yes. Hashtag replay. I love my hashtag live people. I always get hundreds of people. When I watch my metrics, you guys, I have hundreds of people watch the lives. So as soon as this is done, I think it takes maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. It'll kind of like, I think it's like recalibrate, but you'll be able to watch it from the beginning if you missed anything. So for anyone who kind of came in towards the tail end of it, and you want to see the beginning and you want to get all the tips that I shared, you want to get that whole process. Once this ends, give it about 5 minutes and you can watch the replay. Even for you all who joined live, feel free to watch the replay, take notes, reach out to me. My goal here is to build this community up, but to also have you all helping yourselves. And I want to share your stories. I want to hear what's going on and how you have been able to use the tips that I've been sharing. All right. So again, put pivot in the comments if you all want access to that free workshop. It's PIVOT, and we'll give you access to the free workshop. If you want to speak with me directly or work with me and hear more about how I can help you, just DM me ready, and I'll give you that link and we can chat. You all have a good day and happy Memorial Day. Bye.